What's up, guys? Chris Chess Sports Cards here. We are doing 2023 Bowman 12 blaster box break at number 18. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Sorry we're running a few minutes late from the last break, but now we're here and ready to roll. Hope everyone is having a wonderful Friday evening. All right, so welcome, especially if you're new to the channel, welcome. A little bit about us. We've been around for over 5 years now. We break mostly baseball. We ship all cards from every break. We're very generous with the top loading. We ship as quickly as our little hands can move. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. We do free breaks. When we do them, we use our subscriber list from YouTube for the random. So if you want a chance to get into a future free break, all you got to do is hit the old subscribe button. Who knows? Maybe you get lucky. All right, let's go over the teams. D-backs, Richard M. Braves, Chad F. Orioles, Brian H. Red Sox, Tamara W. Cubs, Rory S. Reds, Timothy R. Guardians, Carl J. Rockies, Leonardo R. Tigers, Rory S. Royals, Robert C. Astros, Thomas M. Angels, Brian E. Dodgers, Dave B. Brewers, John T. Twins, Chad F. Marlins, Leonardo R. Mets, Thomas M. Yankees, Chad F. A's, Rich L. Phillies, Ben M. Pirates, Ryan W. Cardinals, Leonardo R. Padres, Robert H. Giants, Jim H. Mariners, Rory S. Rays, Richard M. Rangers and Blue Jays, Ricky H. And finally, Nationals, Jim H. All right. If anybody had any troubles with eBay paying, or I'm going to go back through and double check after this break. If anyone overpaid on their shipping, we'll make sure it gets refunded. I don't know what was going on with eBay tonight. There's some weirdness going on there tonight. So they had some kind of glitch in the payment system or something. But I know everyone's paid, but I will double check, make sure nobody overpaid or any of that stuff for shipping. So, all right, let's open some cards. Good luck, everybody. Soulfinger. Grayson Rodriguez, top 100. Vaquero and Gutierrez. I've been watching a lot of 80s movies lately, stuff from my youth. I was watching Spies Like Us. Oh, God, what a great movie. Gorman, Rookie of the Year. Rada and Baez, Chrome. Soulfinger. It was weird. Last week I watched that Michael J. Fox documentary, and then that got me watching Back to the Future, and then, yeah, it just all went downhill from there. Josh Jung, Rookie Spotlight. Astadas and Sweeney. Tomorrow night, I will talk about this repeatedly. I'm sorry to say. Full case, full blaster case, full sealed blaster case. Tomorrow night, 40 boxes. That will be a fun one. So grab your spots. They're going fast. Raphael, well, not going fast, but lots of bids. Juan and Burgos. It'd be fun to do a full case. Belias, Susak, Ramirez, and Osorio. Zach Veen, September. Carlos Jorge, and for the Guardians, who sold surprisingly cheap tonight, Diane Frias. They always have stuff, the Guardians. Always. You know, the only thing that sucks about going back and watching like the movies of my youth is the ones you can't find anywhere. All of a sudden, like, I will watch one and then another movie pops in my head. I'd be like, oh my God, I haven't seen that in years. Let's go. And then I go look for it. And it's like, nope, it's not streaming anywhere. The Last Starfighter being one of them. I was like, oh God, I have to watch The Last Starfighter. You know, couldn't find it anywhere. So upsetting. And you wonder how things aren't streaming these days. How everything, with all the streaming services, you would think every movie, every show, everything that's ever been made should be streaming at this point. And oh, look at this for the Mets. Who's got the Mets? My man Thomas, little Brett Beatty rookie, 54 of 99. Very nice. Very nice. You have it? Do you really, John? Do you have The Last Starfighter on Blu-ray? Because you have turned into one of my heroes. If you do, Khalil Watson. Oh God, I have to see it. Corona and Montesino. It's right up there with like Iron Eagle. You know, you remember that one? Last Starfighter. Whatever happened to that kid who was in that? He was in like a handful of movies there in the 80s, and then you never saw him again. Brady House. To anyone younger, I would recommend it, but you can't find it anywhere. Graham and Salon. We'll have to take a road trip to John's house to watch it. Last Starfighter. McLean sights on September. He's been killing it in the minors. Cal Harrison and Jordan Lawler, a Lunar. So if you haven't been in a Bowman break with me before, we sleeve and top load hits, parallels, variations, of course. We will sleeve and top load any top chromes and any papers of Drew Jones. Martinez, top 100. Hernandez and Jason Dominguez. Bought some Aberdeen Ironbirds. Oh, yeah. Jackson Holiday. Didn't realize he was playing an hour away. Yeah, no, I knew he was down there. I was trying to talk to my son about it the other night about us going down there. About going to see him down there. Because my son's played in that stadium down there. Peraza. That's where what's his name? Cal Ripken's thing is. Rocker and Lawler. If your son keeps playing, Rich, you'll do the Aberdeen trip at some point. It's like a rite of passage around here for all little leaguers to do the Aberdeen weekend at Cal Ripken. And then if they're really good, they'll go to Cooperstown in New York. Elijah Green and Jace Jung. So they're for anybody who's not from this area, from the Philadelphia or Mid-Atlantic, or if you don't know a lot about baseball, Cal Ripken does tournaments. This company down in Aberdeen, and they have the Aberdeen Ironbirds there, which is one of the minor league teams for the Orioles. It used to be their short A season team, but this thing does so well that they had this beautiful stadium for this like short A season team, which was kind of weird. You didn't see that a lot. So now I think they're the double A team, I'm pretty sure. Something, I think they're double A. Brett Beatty, rookie of the year. But the whole thing is set up is like a dream for little league kids. You know, you go down, you play in this tournament, these beautiful stadiums, and you know, they have all these fields there. It's really, really nice. And then the creme de la creme around here is Cooperstown up in New York. You make the Cooperstown trip during the summer. Another Texas spotlight for Gutierrez this time. James and Geloff. High A. That's what they are now. High A. They used to be the short season A team. There is what they used to be. And the deal was like when you played, when you were 13 and you played there. If you played in the championship game from the weekend, you got to play in the Ironbird Stadium, as opposed to the 12 other fields that are there. Baez and Rodriguez. This thing is so successful, this Cal Ripken thing. They have their own hotel there. Beautiful, like right in the middle of the whole complex. And it's basically just for the families to stay there when the kids are there and stuff. It's quite an operation. It really is. Johnson. Yeah, and it's not even that far. It really only takes if there's no traffic, you can get there in like 45 minutes from here. Holiday in Solano. Robert Hassel sights on September. Jackson Churio and Yo Angel Aponte lunar for Ricky. Yeah, the last time I was at a minor league game, which has been a little while, I watched Bobby Witt played in Wilmington for the Blue Rocks, but they're not part of the. They used to be part of Kansas City's organization for years. Now they're part of the Nationals since the restructuring, I guess. Drew Jones, Chrome, and Jason Dominguez. Jason Dominguez did something today. I saw his name come across my alert. I don't know what it was, but I think that guy gets a single and they put it up there. So also tomorrow night we have a Bowman's Best, half case of Bowman's Best tomorrow night after the full case of Bowman's Blasters tomorrow night. So I got some incredibly expensive Bowman's Best in. I don't know what I was thinking, but you guys will come through for me. So I asked during the last break, when I asked, did anybody invest in some absurdly overpriced Bowman Sapphire today? And if so, I'd love to know what price you got it at. Kalzer and Genow. I lost a lot of respect, and I know we talked about during the last break, but I lost a lot of respect for Tops today with their Dutch auction. Those are the worst. They really are. Adley, rookie of the year favorites. Cabrera and Cerda. Dutch auctions just tell me you care absolutely nothing about the people who buy your product. We're just going to try and rip you off for as much as we can. It's really bad. Alvarez, rookie spotlight. Piguero and Juan Alonso first. The Dutch auction is something they should leave to Panini. Let them do that stuff. There's a reason why Panini has a F from the Better Business Bureau in Texas because of crap like that. Daniel Espino, top 100. Justin Malloy and William Lugo. Malloy, he's killing it in the minors too. Yeah, Rich, if you're going to go down and see him, man, get down there before they move him. Every time I always try to go see someone, they always move them like the week before I get to the game. Coleman Harris, modern prospect. Uriarte and Perez. I told you guys a story before. We went to see the Iron Pigs some years back when Vladdy, who was there? Vladdy, Boba Reese McGuire, and who was the other guy? De La Cruz and Jace Bowen for the Pirates. Craig Biggio, we're all on Buffalo. And so my son and I were like, oh, we got to go see him play. And sure as hell, it was in like a couple weeks. By the time we got there, they were all off the team. They were all in the majors by the time we actually saw them. It was so annoying. Like, not even one of them was still there. Reese McGuire was still there. Who really cared about that? You know, the three guys we went to see, it was like 10 days earlier, they moved Vladdy, and then Bichette went like the week later, and then like Biggio went the day after that or something. Like, it was all within a few days of each other. Just in time for the Iron Pigs not to play them. Oh, yeah, there you go. They're playing the Cyclones. Nice. Langoliers. When's the game? When are you going? Osuna and Blanco. What's so awesome about that games like that, you get such access to the players. You know, like it's so easy to get autographs and meet them. And De La Cruz and Young, like that's what's so great about the minors. The access to them is unbelievable. It's funny. Me years ago, um, Drew Romo top 100. I went to oh God, what was that team? Rafael and Chacon. It was the Washington Nationals low A team. Now this is like 10 years ago. Might even be longer than that. And at the time, no, is it that long? Yeah, maybe it was. Bryce Harper's brother was a pitcher on the team. But the place they played was like one step above a high school field. Like Carlos Colmenares. And honestly, like Rodriguez and Aponte, like they couldn't get away from the fans if they wanted to. They were almost like sitting in the seats with the fans. Like, I felt so bad for the guys. Zach Veen, Avina, and Kenny Gomez for the Astros. For Thomas, mid June. So just a couple weeks. You might be all right. You want him not to play too well. Like, you hope he's just kind of so he's still there when you get there. It's so funny. Peraza, Lee, and DePaula. A couple nice ones there. All right, come on, Bowman. Start putting out something. Let's go. Let's go. Had enough playing around. Everybody do a little quick Bowman prayer, Bowman blaster prayer. Please, blaster gods. Need to start putting out a little bit here. Brett Beatty, rookie, your favorites. Freias and James. And little Adley rookie spotlight. Rodriguez and Gavin Cross. Pete Crow Armstrong, top 100. Baez and Holiday. Johnson, Modern Prospect. Churio and Munoz. Colton Cowser, Sights on September. There's another Drew Jones and Alex Ramirez for the Mets. My wife and son are going to Arizona for 3 weeks. I get to stay home with the dogs. Oh, that's awesome. Why do they you have family in Arizona? Why are they going to Arizona? Could they stop in and say hi to my mother for me? My mother moved there 25 years ago. I've never been there once. Arizona. Jacob Berry, top 100. Vaquero and Jacob Berry. It's always fun when the wife and kid go away. You get to see what kind of trouble you can get into. Oh yeah, what part of Arizona did they live in? I'm just curious. My my mother moved there like 25 years ago, and when I was still in high school, she was like, "Yeah, I'm going to Arizona." And even my parents were still married at the time. My father was like, "Am I coming?" She's like, "I don't care, but I'm going." He was like, needless to say, once I graduated high school, my parents got divorced because she had no interest in him coming. She lives in Tucson somewhere. Peraza, Rookie of the Year. Watson and Johnson. People are just like drawn to Arizona, Tempe. Okay. Yeah, I don't know that I see the attraction, but hey, teach his own. It's not it's a little too warm for me, but hey, what are you gonna do? Paez and Ramos. My mother used to go, oh, but it's a dry heat, so it only feels like 120. Okay, I got you. My problem is the snakes. That's really honestly my problem. I just couldn't deal with that. Sweeney. That's why I like it here in the Mid Atlantic. Arroyo and Calzer. My mother told me the story. This was years ago, where she literally got up to go to work one day, and there were two rattlesnakes sitting on her front porch, like coiled up at her front door. She opened the door, and they were both just sitting there. I was like, I forget them biting me. I had a heart attack. I saw that. I am not a snake person at all. Colmenares, Cabrera, and Arias. And then my mother she always prefaces that story. Well, it's not the snakes you got to worry about; it's the scorpions. I'm like, oh, even better. You got to shake your shoes out before you get stung and killed by a scorpion. Henry Davis Sights on September. Serda and Boyd for the Phillies. Miriam Boyd for Ben. Watson, top 100. Figuero and Herrera. Herrera. Oh, you can't do a dog sitter? Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, I can't anymore either with my dogs. When I just had my one Charlie, who's a golden, he was fine. But after we got our second dog, he became really defensive of her, which is kind of weird. So but I'm lucky. I have a neighbor who watches them when we go away, so they love our neighbors. So he just comes in and takes care of them. So, Josh Young, so strange too because he wasn't like that before until we got the second dog, and now he's like super protective of the second dog. So, and I don't know why because the second dog torments the hell out of him. So, but no, I know exactly what you mean. Mercedes and Arroyo. For Cleveland, Jorge Burgos to 4.99. Espino and Brooks Lee for Carl. Oh, he's a little one. Oh no, my Charlie, my golden, he's like 115 pounds. He's a monster. And he really is the sweetest dog ever, but he's just like super defensive of the other one. Like, I can't take him to the dog park anymore together. He used to go to the dog park all the time. He loved it. He gets along with the other dogs, but I can't take them both at the same time. He gets real, like, jittery with other dogs around my other dog. It's weird. Arias and Lubier. I don't, it's the one thing I never expected that. Like he's the sweetest, but don't mess with the other dog or else he gets really defensive. Rafaela, Justin Crawford first, and Jace Avina Lunar. What kind of dog is he? Rich at 4 pounds. I am not a little dog person at all. I refuse. I just I don't. We've had little dogs in our lives, and they've always been so yappy. I can't stand it. Like if we're gonna have a dog, he's got to weigh at least 50 pounds. Zach Veen, top 100. Ortega and Boyd. Oh, Yorkshire Terrier. Yeah, they're cute, man. Yeah, I have Charlie, who's the older one. He just turned 6. He's a golden retriever and gorgeous. I mean, just besides the fact that he's a monster, like his size is just he's like I would say he's part bear. And then I have an Aussie, or my other dog, and she's just a nightmare. Like she's like 60 pounds of just like she just goes nonstop. And that's like my wife's dog. They're attached to the hip. Manuel Rodriguez, top 100. De Leon and Rodriguez. Oh yeah. See, we had a chocolate lab named Mars for years, and she was quite literally a rescue. Like Tristan Cassis. So when my son was little, we were trying to get a dog for him. Like when he was only a year or two old, and we were trying to get one from the pound or wherever, and we kept like applying for dogs, and they'd be like, oh no, you have a great home, but somebody came in before you, and you'd have to wait like a month to hear, and it was a nightmare. Like, so we ended up finding this rescue group who basically rescued like fighting dogs out of Philadelphia. Tristan Cass is spotlight rookie. And honestly, my wife told me about it. We went to this thing they did in Rittenhouse Square downtown where you can come and meet the dogs. And I mean, this was about the most vicious looking group of dogs I ever saw in my life. Like every one of them just looked more bloodthirsty than the next. De Jesus and Bishop, except for this one dog that was like about as sickly looking as they came. And we ended up taking him, and we were like, well, we're interested. And they're like, oh, just take him home, like right now. I was like, oh my God. And this poor dog was abused badly. Like Oscar Colas top 100, he had bite marks all over him. He was a mess. Garcia and Corona. He was so sick. Like the first month or two we had him. I mean, I thought this dog was going to die on me. But finally, we got him back to health and this and that. And he was the sweetest dog, but you couldn't put him around to anybody other than us, like me and my wife and my son. Like anyone even approached us, he'd be like, like, and she was the sweetest dog, but she hated everybody other than us. De Los Santos, Montesino, and Zavala. Like I think she was okay for a while, but then we lived up in Manayunk, right up on top of the hill on Manayunk Avenue, and someone broke into our house when we lived there. When I was out one day, when we were all out, they came in and robbed us. Matt McLean, and I came home to find the door wide open and all the shit gone. Graham and DePaula Lunar. There's a nice one for the Dodgers. Um, And what they did was they had been casing my house. They took um, they duct taped her mouth closed. My dog, like literally went up to her, like put the like the center part, the cardboard center over her mouth, and then duct taped her mouth closed. And I came home to find her that way. And I took that duct tape off her, and I could just see in her eyes. She was like, "That's it. I'm done. Like, don't ever put me in front of another human being. The rest of my life, I'm gonna kill them." I was like, "Yeah, that's it." So anytime anyone came near our house, like, put the dog upstairs in the bedroom. The poor dog was. I felt so bad for her. Drew Romo, towards the end of her life, when I had to take her to the vet a few times. Fernandez and Laura, I told the vet, I was like, listen, she is not easy to approach. And it was funny, the doc was like, well, leave the room. And I was like, all right. And she said, when you guys left the room, she was fine. Like, it was just the three of us, I guess she was super protective of or whatever. Cass rookie of your favorites, but I couldn't blame her. I'd have been pissed too if I was her. De Los Santos and Gomez. That poor dog, she got so sick. And my son was away with my parents on a vacation. For Detroit. Jace Jung auto. Look at that. Wow. For Rory. Nice one. Jace Jung Chrome auto. And for any of you who have dogs or have had lost a dog, you realize they get sick really fast. Like one day she was fine, and 2 days later she was like, looked like she was about to die, and she was. Mervis and Figueroa. And we took her to the vet. She was in such bad shape, and she was like 12 or 13 years old at this point. And took her to the vet, and they did X-rays, and they were like, she's full of cancer. Like her lungs were all full of tumors. Rodriguez for Kansas City to 150, 29 of 150 for Robert. And they wanted to put her down, like right there. Oswald Peraza. And I was like, you can't. I was like, is she in pain? Do you think she's in pain? And they're like, no, she's not crying or anything. She's just not breathing well and, so on and so forth. Like, but no, I don't think she's in pain. I said, well, my son is away and, he's had this dog his whole life. I can't, I have to get my son back here to put this dog down. So I was like, do you think it's going to be okay if we wait a few days? Is she going to be, I'm not torturing her, am I? No, she'll be fine. And they were like, we'll give her, they gave her some steroids. That dog lasted for like another year after that. Simon Wan. Like they gave her steroids, she came right back from it, and she lasted like another year. And then same kind of thing, like she was fine for months and months, and then all of a sudden one day she was just like, yeah, I'm cashed, and she died a few days later. But I'm so glad I didn't decide to put her down that night because we got a whole nother year with her. Zach Veen sights on September. Blaez and Mikey Romero on the Lunar. The worst was too. I had that. My son at the time was like, I don't know, maybe 11, 10 or 11 years old. So like when he came home, I explained this whole situation. She's really sick. I don't know, blah blah blah. And she was getting better, but and kind of just prepared him for the fact that we're gonna have to put her down or she was gonna die very soon. So he was very upset. He's 10 years old or whatever. He was grasping what he could. And then the damn dog pulled through. And then we had to go through it all again like a year later, which actually passed. It's like, oh no. But hey, we got another year out of her. Michael Bush, top 100. And for Seattle, Axel Sanchez, 80 of 250. For Rory, Holiday and Janelle. Janelle. Josh Jung, Rookie of the Year. Cheerio and another Drew Jones Chrome, number 3. I was hoping it was going to be a Lunar. Jackson Cheerio Spotlight. Vaquero and Juan Alonso. Olsen Montgomery, top 100. Rada and Baez. Colmenares. Prospect. Estados and Perez. Colton Cowser. Simon Juan and Kristen Hernandez, Lunar. Box number 12. Again, tomorrow night, guys, we're going to do a 40 box full case blaster case, sealed blaster case tomorrow night. Auctions are on eBay now. Austin Wells, top 100. And for the Phillies, 145 of 175, Marion Boyd. For Ben. Brooks Lee and Munoz. Gorman, Rookie of the Year favorite. Roderick Arias and Justin Crawford. And Corbin Carroll, spotlight for the D-backs. Ortega and Jacob Berry. Brian Rocchio, top 100. Drew Jones paper. Ruiz and Susak. And Jackson Holiday. Eric Brown and Bergola. Last pack. Tyler Soderstrom, sights on September. Luciano and Austin Charles Lunar for Kansas City. Kansas City. Robert. All righty. I want to thank everyone for joining us this evening. As always, I couldn't do this without y'all, and I truly, truly do appreciate it. As I said before, we'll be back tomorrow night with the full case of blasters and Bowman's Best. Also, Sunday, we'll have more Bowman and Big League on Sunday. So, if you'd like to join us, we'd love to have you. Otherwise, please stay safe and stay healthy out there. Bear with me for just a minute while I put this hit recap together, and we'll get out of here. Was there? Camera? I thought there was. I thought there was three. Yeah, there it is. I thought there was three Drew Jones Chrome. I forgot the top load. I'm going crazy. All right, folks. Hit recap for 2023 Bowman 12 Blaster Box break number 18. Some of the top chromes we pulled out in spotlights. These, of course, will all be top loaded. Justin Crawford, Mervis, De Los Santos, Crawford again, Berry, DePaulo, Lee, Malloy, Harrison, and Berry. Spotlights of Jung, Corbin Carroll, Churio, Tristan Cassis, Adley, Alvarez, and Gutierrez. For Drew Jones, we had 3 on the chrome and 1 on the paper. And then hits Lunar Glows, Frias, Aponte, Lawler, Boyd, Ramirez, Gomez, Bowen, DePaula, Avina, Romero, Hernandez, and Charles. To 499, Jorge Burgos. To 250, Axel Sanchez. To 175, Marion Boyd. To 150, Lisandro Rodriguez. To 99, Brett Beatty rookie. And we had the one auto of Jace Jung for Detroit. All right, folks, again, thank you so much for joining me. I do appreciate it. Hope to see you all tomorrow. Have a wonderful night. Take care. Bye.